Busch Stadium in St. Louis. That's the mighty Mississippi in the background. The arch over on the left side of your picture. The St. Louis Rams and the 49ers. But the 49ers breaking on top. Thompson to kick it off. They missed the extra point. 6-0 49ers. Todd Kinchin hit his own man, and down he went. There's Isaac Bruce over on the bench. Late getting up and late getting out.
Yeah, here's that touchdown again. Here's John Taylor here, Pat. Jerry Rice is here, so he's going to take some people in here. John Taylor comes up, and he goes all the way across the field. And you see what Jerry Rice will do. You see Jerry Rice is in the slot. They all jump on him. Anthony Parker is man-to-man on John Taylor with no help. Taylor runs all the way across the field. Elvis Gerbach rolls to the right and sees him and throws it to him in the end zone.
Leonard Russell gets the carry, gets perhaps a yard, no more.
Yeah, they say that Jerome Bettis went in just to get a tape job, so, you know, sometimes that happens. You get like too tight or too loose, or you know that it's not right, and you want to get it straightened out before you keep going.
Isaac Bruce, who's been so outstanding, still over on the sideline.
Yeah, they said that he's not feeling well.
Yeah.
What that guy was doing there was just putting some more air in his helmet. That's not going to help him feel any better.
So Todd Kinchin has taken his place. Here's Miller back to throw it. And again, pressure from the 49ers in a hurry. Dana Stubblefield all over him quickly. Miller had no time.
Well, you know, Junior Bryant is in there along with Dana Stubblefield, and he's doing a pretty good job. And that's where they get the pressure, where they just come straight up the middle, and they're big, strong, powerful guys. And you watch Dana Stubblefield, number 94, I think was one of the best players in the game. And you see what he did? He was really double teamed. Yeah. He just split the double team. He just went right between them. And then when the defensive tackle, who lines up in the middle, splits the double team, his next step is right on the quarterback.
And Junior Bryant was right there with him. Third and very long. Miller back to throw again. Out of the pocket. Pass is picked off this time by Ken Norton. Norton in the end zone, touchdown, San Francisco. That turnover business we were talking about in the beginning.
Left, right, left, hook.
Hey, we got a fight next week.
That's right. Ken Norton's dad was a great one. Remember when he was heavyweight champion of the world? Chris Miller, 2 interceptions.
Right. One of them set up a touchdown. The other one, Norton scored.
And you know that every team knows when you start your backup quarterback that you can't put it all on him. Like we talked about, the running game has to take it. The defense has to take it. And the defense knows that. I mean, they're looking here just coming up with big plays. Now, those were 2 bad throws, though, by Chris Miller. I mean, he threw the first one to Dedrick Dodge right to him, and that one, he threw that right to Ken Norton.
So now we'll see if the 49ers can do a better job of executing the extra point.
Better protect your head. Better protect your head. He was open for an uppercut.
Yeah. 21-yard interception returned by Ken Norton. They're going to go for 2.
Yeah, because they missed the extra point on their first touchdown.
Floyd and Lavelle behind Gerbach, who's going to throw it. Does. They got the 2. It's 14-0.
And we said that Elvis Gerbach had to get off to a good start to get confidence. I'll tell you, this guy has big-time confidence right now.
That'll build it in a hurry. 1 for a touchdown, 1 for a 2-point extra point. Gerbach to Rice.
It's 19.
At the 30, he's taken down by Jamal Willis.
Well, Isaac Bruce is going in now. He was injured on that first interception. He was one of the guys that tackled Dedrick Dodge.
Bettis is back also.
They're getting their guys back, and they're 14 points down. You know, one of the things the 49ers all talked about yesterday is everyone is playing them physical. And that was the way Indianapolis played. And everyone said, if you want to beat the 49ers, you got to be physical with them. Well, they're coming into this game sick and tired of everyone being physical against them. And their attitude is they're going to be physical today.
Miller back to throw. Screen pass to Bettis. Bettis for about 7 or 8. 10:24 left in the first quarter, and it's 14-0 San Francisco.
Well, the Rams just have to work now and be methodical. I mean, they can't get back. They have plenty of time. They just have to start thinking in terms of, you know, getting some first downs, getting composure, getting their offense going. They don't need a big play or a quick strike right now.
Second and 3 or 4. Miller to Bettis. That won't get it done.
I'll tell you, we were talking about the inside of that 49er defense, and Dana Stubblefield, I think right now is one of the best defensive tackles in football. You have to double team him, and behind him you get Norton and Plummer that all play the run very well, and there's not going to be much when you run straight ahead at this defense.
You know, you look at number 94, Stubblefield. He doesn't look 300 pounds in a football uniform.
I think it's from the waist. I think it's from the waist down. If you look at him from the waist down, you can see where it is. Look from the waist up, you can't. Here's Tim Harris right here playing for the first time today.
Miller gets it to his tight end, Troy Drayton, and that will move the sticks. First down for the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, and that's what the Rams have to think of again is just kind of get back into this game, just get some first downs, and not have a lot of these things.
Gain of 10.
Holding by the defense, number 25. The penalty is declined. Play results in a first down.
Ed Hockley.
They called that on Eric Davis, and it was Todd Kinchin. In fact, Todd Kinchin was out there, and he was complaining about it. So they gave them that call, but the Rams got the first down anyway. That would have been an automatic first down, but they'd completed the pass for a first down.
Isaac Bruce comes wide right this time. Cook and Bettis behind Miller.
Someone kind of compared Isaac Bruce with Jerry Rice, and that upsets his 49er defense.
Well,
we're going to show this Isaac Bruce in his second year that he's no Jerry Rice.
He got the same number.
Yeah, and although Isaac Bruce didn't compare himself, he said, I'm not Jerry Rice, I'm not comparing myself, I just want to be Isaac Bruce.
Stay around a while and put up those numbers.
Isaac Bruce left a little early. There's no reason for that. That's just lack of concentration. There's no reason for the wide receiver to ever be offside.
False start by the offense, number 80, prior to the snap.
Maybe because he took that blow to the head before.
Yeah, remember this play here? This is Dedrick Dodge who got the first interception of Chris Miller. Now watch, as he's running here, there's number 80, Isaac Bruce, was running out of bounds up the sideline. He'd been in on the play, and he got hit in the head. And then this is what happened here. The bad news is the ball hadn't been snapped yet.
So it's first and 15. 14-0 San Francisco, 8.5 minutes left first quarter. They've done it by turnovers. Here's Miller back to throw. Protection better. Going for Bruce. Isaac Bruce to the 5. Eric Davis brought him down.
He jumped off sides. He didn't have the concentration of it. Now he's double teamed. Here he is. He's double teamed. Here's Eric Davis. He's going to get help right here from Tim McDonald. Now watch him. He splits them both. He runs right between Davis, right past McDonald, and Chris Miller throws a perfect pass. Now that is splitting the double coverage. They got double coverage on him. He just outran the double coverage.
53 yards. Tim McDonald got hung up with the tight end just a step. And Bruce blew right by. 6, first and goal. That's out of the end zone. No penalty flag. Jesse Hester saying there should be a penalty flag.
I think the official is saying that the ball was uncatchable.
Yep.
I don't like that rule. I don't think the official should have to make that judgment. That's Marquez Pope, number 23, who's out there on Hester. He's not looking at the ball. That's pass interference. I don't care what they say. If you say he can't catch the ball...
How do you know?
Yeah, if he hadn't bumped him, what would have happened? Marquez Pope didn't look back. He didn't look at anything. He just ran right into Jesse Hester.
2 tight ends for the Rams this time. Drayton in motion. Pitch it back to Bettis. Bettis can't turn the corner.
His defense is fired up today. I think the thing that we talked about is everyone else is going to come in and they're knocking the 49ers around. They're bumping Jerry Rice. They're hitting him on the line. They're knocking Steve Young out of the game. And I think a little of that this week is rubbing off on this 49er defense. Look at Dana Stubblefield there, Gary Plummer. If you can't run inside, you have to run outside. And to be honest with you, Jerome Bettis is not an outside runner.
No, he's not. 3 wide receivers. Bruce starts in motion. Incomplete. Isaac Bruce, the intended receiver. Tyrone Drakeford very nearly came up with another interception.
I know it, and that's that nickel defense that the 49ers are playing so well, and every time they get in there, they come close to an interception. You watch Drakeford here, he gets a pretty good jump on that thing. That wasn't a well-thrown pass either.
That's a hard pattern to run. You start one direction, turn completely around, come back the other way.
Yeah, that's that option thing where you start inside. If the guy's inside, you go outside. If he's outside, you continue your cross.
Steve McLaughlin with Miller holding. Gets the Rams on the board. It's 14-3. 25-yard field goal. 6.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. The 49ers on top 14-3. Wedge guys returned it. Elvis Gerbach, 6'5" and 232 is how he's listed. Big, tall guy. Behind him, Lavelle and Floyd. Elvis Gerbach coming out of there. Now the offensive line in front of Elvis Gerbach. And there have been some changes there. Jesse Sapolo should be moved to center. Now this is right. This is the way it is. Kirk Strafford back at right tackle. Harris Barton out with a bad back. So Bart Oates is the center. Sapolo at left guard. Gerbach, the quarterback. Gives to Lavelle. Now the Rams defense. Kevin Carter, Jimmy Jones, DeMarco Farr, and Sean Gilbert, the front four. They're good. Pfeiffer, Shane Conlon, and Carlos Jenkins, the linebackers. Parker and Todd Light, the corners. Lyle and Toby Wright, the safety. 3rd and 2. William Floyd yet to carry. Gerbach to Rice, incomplete. Todd Light was the cover man. Here's Harris Barton.
Yeah, he injured his back in the pregame warm-up. The 49ers had all those moves they were going to make where they were going to play Strafford at left guard. Then when Barton got hurt, Strafford now goes to right tackle. Jesse Sapolo was going to be the center with Bart Oates on the bench. Jesse Sapolo goes back to left guard. Bart Oates comes back to center. Chris Dahlman playing right guard. So they've had 2 quick changes within this game.
Thompson back deep to punt. Todd Jenkins deep to the Rams. They'll have a chance to return this one. They get down quickly by Tyrone Beckford.
Beckford held on. He went to hold on again. That was a pretty good tackle. He didn't have any help, but he held on.
Strong hand. 49-yard punt, 6-yard return.
Then he got a help. Then he went and grabbed him again. But when you're 5'8" and 180 pounds, you just got to hold on for everything you're worth.
First down, Rams. Chris Miller, the quarterback. Incomplete. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Hey, Pat, Jeff George taking a page out of Bubby Brister's playbook. Shovel pass. Guess who's there? The big fella, Warren Sapp, in for the score. 7-0 Tampa Bay, under 2 in the first. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Looking at that shuttle pass might be a thing of the past.
Well, they're starting to play that. Yeah. You know, you watch defenders are starting to rush and seeing that and pulling off their rush and getting in position for that interception.
Bettis and Russell behind Miller. This is Leonard Russell, tripped up in the backfield by Ken Norton.
Ken Norton's fired up today.
I'll tell you.
I mean, he's back there picking off ball, running them in for touchdown, punching
the goalpost.
Punching the goalpost, getting penetration on the run. You see him here. He just gets a feel. He starts on a blitz. He's outside, then he's going on a blitz on the inside. He sees a run and just goes right down the line of scrimmage. And he threw that short, straight right.
Yeah.
You're going to be calling a fight in a week or so, huh?
Mike Tyson, from whom we'll hear at the half. Here's Miller back to throw. Flag on the play, and Miller is down. It's 3rd and long. Stubblefield and Junior Bryant again put the pressure on. Going to be holding against the Rams.
There could be some kind of illegal block, like an illegal chop block or something, too.
Could be.
Personal foul, chop block by the offense, number 70 and 79. The penalty is declined, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, see, that's the left tackle and the left guard. Now watch here. Once a player is engaged, then you can't chop him. You see Gandy did? You see he was engaged with Goas. Now watch, Goas engages him here, and then Gandy comes down and gets him. See, he can't do that. He can't chop block him when another guy is blocking him. Now, if no other guy was blocking him, he can do that. He used to make a living doing that stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. It used to be fine. Landeta back to punt. John Taylor steps away from one. We'd like to welcome the Blockbuster Video Blimp and its crew to today's telecast. Piloting the Blockbuster Blimp, Steve Tomlin and Terry Dillard. And what a view they got today.
It's a beautiful day here, and you're looking down at this stadium, and it's the last time there's going to be a football game played here. In fact, after this game, they're going to tear up this turf, put grass, and this is just going to be a baseball stadium. And of course, the St. Louis Rams are going to play in their new stadium,
which was almost ready for today, but they couldn't get there.
One last time. Make this last one a good one, they say.
Floyd to the 30. There is the Trans World Dome, which is north of this stadium and the Arch. And it's going to be something to behold.
Yeah, who would have thought? I mean, the old-timers and Trans World Dome, you go with something that looks like that. Look at that.
There it is on the north side of St. Louis. There we are, along with a few folks.
If you were in that blimp, it would just be like boom, 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 and you're at the other joint.
Derek Lavelle. 49er first down. Stopped by Keith Lyle and Toby Wright.
You know, one guy that knows this Ram coach well, or the Ram coach knows a player well, is Derek Lavelle. was, of course, the starting running back for the 49ers, taking Ricky Waters' place, but he played in college at Oregon for Rich Brooks. And I'll tell you, every player, whoever played for Rich Brooks at Oregon, he was at Oregon for 18 years, has the utmost respect. This is a coach that is really, really respected by his players.
J.J. Stokes split wide to the left. Gerbach fires up the middle to Floyd.
Roman Pfeiffer was right there on him.
Yep.
See, now one thing they know about Elvis Gerbach is you don't have to worry about his run. So you're just going to get to a point. You see his drop back point there? You're just going to try and get to that point. Rush to that point because he is going to be there. Not going to be like Steve Young where you rush to a point and pop. He's not where you thought he was going to be.
Second down. Floyd. First down. Roman Pfeiffer made the stop.
Well, this offensive line is starting to gel now. I mean, you got Bart Oates back here now. Here's Jesse Sapolo here. We got Chris Dahlman starting here for the first time, and they're really just cross block. You see, they get a block there by Brent Jones. You get the cross block, and Floyd just gets right in behind them.
Two tight ends now. First down, San Francisco. They lead 14-3, and we're still in the first quarter. Gerbach to Floyd. Floyd got close to another first down. He said to me after practice yesterday, I feel a 100-yard day coming up.
Yeah, I think with a backup quarterback, of course, he didn't know he was going to get off with these quick 14 points, but they needed a 100-yard day coming into this game from William Floyd. But that one was way too easy. There was no force or support on that side. They got that soft corner, and he just got right around it.
Steve Young will be talking, as John Madden has said earlier, with Elvis Gerbach throughout the day. They measure to see if Floyd got a first down. And he did.
Look at Steve Young. He looks more like a coach there. He's conferring. He's calling the head coach. Usually it's the opposite. You know, you get the coach, hey, player, come here. This one was, hey, coach, come here.
He looks like a coach, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. No, they get that look, take those sunglasses
Got the
off.
glasses hanging there, yeah.
Taking notes. Look, he's conferring with the head coach.
Yep.
Boy, that's an easy transition. That coaching's too easy.
Really?
Guy had one day of practice.
Derek Lavelle. Stopped by Roman Pfeiffer.
That's what they have to do is control this line of scrimmage. I mean, they're trying to get the ball out here, but these guys have to control the line of scrimmage, keep them off these linebackers so that they can pursue and get to the ball. See, keep a clean line of scrimmage, then the linebacker can get up there with another one to the outside, one to the inside. They played that very well.
Keep them off those linebackers. The linebackers will make a lot of tackle. Taylor. There's never been a team, I don't think, in the history of the league that's run that pattern better than the 49ers.
Well, and as Terry Bradshaw was saying in the pregame, with this offense, the 49er offense, whoever they put in their quarterback looks like they've been doing it all their lives.
Yeah. That's the end of the first quarter. 49ers leading 14-3.
From across the seas, Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Bucky Vinny here, reviewing Subway Steak and Cheese Sandwich at the home of the Steak and Cheese, Philadelphia. Steak and cheese, please. Well, what do we think? This is a real McCoy. Tender, juicy steak with loads of real melted cheese. We have a winner. Subway, what a sandwich.
Aquí estamos vivo en la 18 Broadway. Get over here. Somebody should do something.
Oh, his poor mother.
Oh, my goodness. Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khakis.
I should have gotten a dog.
How to achieve success.
For me, it's the details. In golf, that means taking it one stroke at a time. And at Jiffy Lube, we do it one car at a time. And we offer the quality of Pennzoil. So even though we've serviced almost 100 million cars, the one that matters most is the one we're working on now.
Next week, it's exciting NFL doubleheader action when the Cowboys take on the Falcons and the Saints battle the 49ers. Plus other exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. We'll be in Atlanta, and this is Deion Sanders and his college number.
Yep, and he'll be playing for the first time next week against the Atlanta Falcons, his old team. We know he's going to play defense, and of course the Cowboys will have to use 6 defensive backs. I wonder if he's going to play any offense this first week.
They've been working some offensive plays with him in mind. This is William Floyd. Of course, Darren Smith will be back too.
That William Floyd, he can do anything. He can run like a halfback, block like a fullback, and when he gets a first down, he gives a signal for the official. The more things you can do, that's what bar none figures. The more things you can do, fullback, halfback, run, block, catch, give first down signals.
Wonder if he can throw.
No, because once you get these shoulders, you know, you block so much, and you get those shoulders, they get beaten down so much you can't even lift your arms to comb your hair.
Yeah, but he's young.
Yeah, but he's working on not being able to comb his hair.
Derek Lavelle. Ball's loose. Still loose. Well, William Floyd recovers fumbles as well. But this a flag on the play, I believe. No?
So I think the official, Pat, is pointing on the 20-yard line saying the ball was down there.
It came flying out of there.
And he was saying that they blew the whistle before the ball come out of Derek Lavelle's hands, so therefore it never was a fumble. But what they're saying is that his knees down, right there, the knees down, the ball hasn't come out yet, and the whistle blows then. Wait a minute, the ball already was out. The ball did come out before his knee hit down. That guy was wrong.
Yeah. Second down. Lavelle looking for 4 yards. He won't get it.
That's the way to gang tackle, though. I mean, the Rams had 10 guys on that tackle. I mean, there were about 6 or 7 of them on the pile and about 3 or 4 of them just standing around it.
Coach Young.
How do you figure you put your sunglasses there? I mean, you either wear them or you put them in your pocket. But what makes you say, well, I think I'll just hang my sunglasses down in front of me? See, then you have to put your hand up like that.
Yeah.
It works better on your eyes and your chest. But that's a left-handed quarterback.
3 wide receivers. Gerback. Incomplete. Jerry Rice, the intended receiver.
You know, the 49ers still script their first 15 plays. And after the first 15 plays, they had 9 runs and 6 passes. Now, over the years, that would usually be reversed. It would usually be 9 or 10 passes and 5 or 6 runs. But the thing that they wanted to do is they wanted to start off with a big pass for Elvis Grbac.
Zendejas with Thompson holding. High snap. Zendejas hits it from 38 yards.
Tony Zendejas just picked up this week. They cut Doug Bryan, brought in Tony Zendejas, and here he is making field goals.
They messed up the extra point on the first touchdown.
With the power of 210 horses and the traction of all-wheel drive, it'll turn more heads. The Eclipse from Mitsubishi. See your dealer for great lease offers on all Eclipses, including turbo models.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be. Out in the open, where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me. And there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on, along, head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
Sai, ho finito la mia tesi di laurea.
Bravo, nonno.
Ho fatto tutte le mie ricerche, mica dalla Indiana University. Sì. La biblioteca della facoltà. L'IBM l'ha digitalizzata. Così con internet avrò accesso alla musica quando voglio. Sì, sono proprio bei tempi questi.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. By Transamerica, the people in the pyramid are working for you. By Taco Bell, introducing the new nacho cheese double-decker taco at Taco Bell only for a limited time. And by Magnavox, we make technology people want. Magnavox, smart, very smart.
Thompson to kick it off. After a 38-yard field goal by Zendejas. The return man. Antonio Goss made the stop.
There's another thing. Once you go from player to coach, you have to congratulate guys as they come off the field. Steve Young has it all.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the headset. He has the look. He's calling guys, calling coaches, players, congratulating guys, keeping his focus on the field. I have never seen a quarterback turn to a coach so quickly.
A right-handed handshake to a Zendejas.
Got it all. Zendejas is something, though, huh? How about Zendejas? He kicked for the Rams last year. Last week, he kicked for Atlanta against the Rams here. This week, he's kicking for the 49ers against the Rams here.
Just give me somebody to hold it. Jerome Bettis. Right now for McDonald's game break. Let's return again to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Pat, we talked about Eric Metcalf being a serious weapon for Atlanta. Take a look at Jeff George as he finds him on the crossing pattern. The former track star not to be caught, 62 yards to pay dirt. All tied in Tampa Bay at 7. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Back here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. It's 17-3. 4 wide receivers for the Rams. They need 3 yards for a first. Miller gives to Bettis. Bettis came close. Chris Miller.
Well, he hasn't had a good start today. I mean, you know that he threw those 2 interceptions, but he's been sacked 2 times, knocked down 3 times, and, of course, the 2 interceptions, one of them for a return, and the other one led to a touchdown.
That's how the 49ers got both of them, after turnovers. And that seems to be, as the league goes by, the year passes, that's the answer to who's on top of the standings.
If you had to pick one meaningful stat, it would be that turnover ratio.
Here's Miller, back to throw it. Steps away from the rush. Chased by Norton and taken down by Ken Norton.
Now, that's the advantage of really having linebackers that can run. You know, it used to be linebackers were kind of run stoppers and they would just kind of plug that middle. But when you have a linebacker that can run, when a quarterback has to scramble, you see Ken Norton here, he starts to play pass defense, he's dropping back, zoning, he sees Chris Miller run there. Miller has about 3 steps on him. But when you can make up those 3 steps, I tell you, that gives you big plays.
He made up the ground in a hurry, too, didn't he?
That's the big thing, you know, with these stacked defenses now, stacked defenses and running linebackers.
Bettis. Hit by Gary Plummer.
Yeah, there's not much in there. When you go in there and you start off that you have to get this guy blocked and you have to get these two guys blocked along with this guy, that's a tough place to run. Because no matter what you do, you better get Dana Stubblefield blocked. They try and wham block him, but in concentrating on Stubblefield, you see that no one to block Ken Norton, so he's right there to make the tackle.
Norton and Plummer.
Look at old Stubblefield. He got his 4 up by his neck now.
Yeah.
He got that 4 knocked up there around the other side.
3rd down, Miller back to throw it. Drayton had it, lost it. Picked up by Lee Woodall.
I'll tell you, these 49ers are hitting today. I mean, they're going out there and they're making things happen. Then we saw Plummer make plays. We saw Norton make plays. Now the 3rd linebacker, Lee Woodall, makes a play. Watch him. He's in man-to-man coverage here. He's covering the tight end. Troy Drayton catches the ball. Drayton just dropped the ball. It just jumped out of there. Woodall was covering him. He just picked it up.
Did he ever have it?
I think he had it. I think he had control. That's what the officials are talking about now. You have to catch it and have control of it.
Let's
Did
see.
not hold the ball long enough. The pass was incomplete.
That's what I
Brings up
thought.
4th down.
I don't think he ever had it.
Again, he has to catch the ball and then have control of it. I guess he didn't. Yeah, as he started to put it away, it went right down his left side. So he caught a break there.
Yeah. Landetta into punt. John Taylor back deep for the 49ers. Landetta, of course, longtime Giant. Single bar on the face mask, the face mask. Nobody but a kicker would do that.
Well, Tony Zendejas does the same thing.
Good kick by Landetta. Chases Taylor, backpack. Ball takes a bounce. The Rams knock each other off. And now they down the ball on about the 2. What a kick by Landetta.
The 2 Rams ran into each other, but didn't knock the ball into the end zone. The way they were coming down here, I thought they were going to knock the ball into the end zone. They both, by dodging the ball, they hit each other.
J.T. Thomas.
J.T. Thomas, right there, really. That's heels over head. Woo!
St. Louis Rams losing now 17-3. Murderer. Her next mistake could be her last. Don Johnson and Rebecca De Mornay star in the world broadcast premiere of Guilty as Sin this week on the Fox Tuesday Night Movie. Beautiful day in St. Louis. Most enthusiastic crowd, 1st and 10 for the Rams on their own 48. Isaac Bruce is the man in motion. Miller away from Stubblefield. Intended for Drayton. Incomplete. Again, that Aflac trivia question, who were the fearsome foursome? And they were fearsome. And here they are. Lamar Lundy, Rosie Greer, Merlin Olsen, and Deacon Jones.
You know, Deacon Jones, may have had more sacks than anyone in football. Reggie White holds the record, but when Deacon Jones was playing, they didn't keep the record. And number 74 was Merlin Olsen, and his number is the only number that was retired by the Rams.
Here's Miller back to throw. Again, pressure from the 49ers. Incomplete. They have put a lot of heat on Chris Miller.
Well, one thing George Seifert talked about is that they wanted to put heat on him and eliminate these big plays. The play before, they were trying to get to Isaac Bruce. This play here, you see, he had time early, and then the stunt breaks through, and then he had to move, and moving that threw the whole rhythm and timing of the pass pattern off. But George Seifert was saying what we want to do is they really have a conservative offense, and then they take some shots. So instead of defending their conservative offense, we want to defend their shots. And that's what they just did 2 plays ago because they were trying to go deep to Isaac Bruce.
On third down, Miller throws complete to Isaac Bruce. And that's the first down. That's only their second conversion on a third down situation.
Isaac Bruce does a good job of getting off the line here. Then he's going to run the deep in pattern. You see it's against the nickel zone. And all he had to do was get by one guy and then find a hole. See, he's here. He has to get by here, get up here, then find a hole right here in the zone. Just work to find it. See, get by the guy right there. Now come under control right in there. Find the hole. Chris Miller sees it and hits him perfectly.
Cook is the man on the move, and the handoff goes to Leonard Russell. He only gets a few. The thing about Isaac Bruce, he has fun playing the game. That's what Chris Miller was saying about him. He enjoys it. Not only is he very talented, but he enjoys playing.
Well, you know, he's from a family with like 15, 16 kids, and and I think when you're from a big family like that, you learn to have fun doing everything. You know, I mean, everything is competitive. You learn to compete early. You learn to share. You learn to get along with people, and if you don't have a sense of humor and can't laugh about things, it'd be tough to survive.
That's what his name means. Miller trying to throw the screen pass, and it's intercepted by Stubblefield. Flag on the play.
Dana Stubblefield has been doing it all. He's been getting double teamed. He's played the run. He's been getting the pass rush. And the thing that they do, they have those zone blitzes now, Pat. There's a flag down on the play, but they have those zone blitzes where the guy starts to rush and then he drops out. And watch him. He's right here in front, and he'll start up. See, he starts in a stunt. Now he feels the screen. And you see, he just stopped right there.
Yep.
Oh, that was a bad throw by Chris Miller, though. I mean, you have to see that.
There was an illegal block in the back by the intercepting team, number 50. The 10-yard penalty. San Francisco keeps the ball after enforcement of the foul, first down.
There's, well, where is it?
Yeah, it was right there. It was that hit there by Gary Plummer in the back. That didn't look like much, but that was a bad throw by Chris Miller.
49ers keep the ball. They lead 17-3. Another interception.
You know, the big thing about the St. Louis Rams is before today, they were plus 11 in that turnover ratio. And then the thing that's killing them today is them giving up those turnovers.
Burback gets it outside. Lavelle is going to throw it. Throwing deep. And incomplete, intended for Taylor, but an interference penalty is going to be called.
Now, the key on that, you can't have 2 forward passes, but that wasn't a forward pass. The first one from Gerbach to Lavelle was a lateral. Now, when you get a lateral or a backward pass, then you can throw a forward pass. See, now watch the first pass here. See, it's backward, so
That's
therefore it's a lateral. Now, because it's a lateral, now you can have another forward pass.
Pass interference. Pass interference by the defense, number 35. It's an automatic first down.
Keith Lyle. Pass was underthrown. And it's hard not to interfere when a pass is underthrown that badly.
See, there's a lateral, and then Derek Lavelle throws it like a javelin. He gives it everything he has, underthrows it, and then because of the underthrow, that really brought about the pass interference.
And Lavelle carries this time. Stopped by DeMarco Farr.
Here's Mike Skurlock. I think he's still trying to get over the effects of that collision he had in the end zone on that punt coverage.
That was some collision. We were talking about it being unexpected. That's when they really, really can sting you.
And Jerry Rice doesn't have a catch today other than the 2-point conversion.
Right.
I guess statistically, they don't count that in stats, but he has really had a catch. He caught the 2-point conversion, but other than that, he hasn't caught a pass.
2nd and 6. Burback gets it up the middle to William Floyd. Floyd flags on the play. Very quickly.
And this has been a good drive for the 49ers at Gerbach because we were looking at Skurlock there in the sideline about that collision. The 49ers have had the ball since that point.
Personal foul by the defense, number 51. Unnecessary roughness, late hit. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Call against Carlos Jenkins.
I think the Rams are starting to get a little frustrated because they really had him. I mean, they had him backed up, and they've gone the whole field. And watch, you see, after he's down, Carlos Jenkins comes in.
And he comes out of there. 5:02 left in the first half. First and goal, 49ers at the 6. Durbach to Lavelle, a yard, maybe.
Roman Pfeiffer really made a hit. You talk about, this is a way to end a play. You know, you want to finish off a play. You want to finish off a run as a running back or the defender. Watch Pfeiffer. I mean, when he ran into Lavelle, that was the end of Lavelle going forward. He would turn sideways and immediately went to backward.
Shane Conlon had him down by the feet. Second and goal at the 4. Durbach to throw it. Rice had it. Touchdown, they call. Rice was in the end zone, came back out from 4 yards away.
Well, he hadn't caught a pass. We're just talking about that, but you know, it's just a matter of time. They're always going to look for him because you know when you get the ball in his hands, he's going to make good things happen. Look at that. He's caught a pass in 150 consecutive games. Again, Elvis Durbach is looking all the way. He's looking to the outside, comes back to Jerry Rice, who just finds a little hole for him. Hits him right on the goal line. Rice always knows where that goal line is.
Zendejas for the extra point. Good. Durbach is 6 out of 8. 2 touchdowns. 1 to Taylor, 1 to Rice. And the 49ers in control. 24-3, Ram turnovers. 3 interceptions, all have led to 49er touchdowns.
Well, we'll see the touchdown here. You see Elvis Durbach is looking to the outside. Jerry Rice just finds a hole there and sits down. Sits down right on the goal line, knows the goal line is right a little behind him, spins around and gets a touchdown. But that all started, again, on Dana Stubberfield's play. Jerry Rice gets a touchdown, gets a congratulations, but the guy that got the ball for the 49ers was Dana Stubberfield.
Another short kick, this one handled by J.T. Thomas. Thomas outside the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Hey, Chris Miller's going to be happy when this half is over. I mean, he's done just about everything you can do wrong. He's done wrong. He started off throwing those interceptions, but that last one, that last interception to Dana Stubberfield is something you never do. It was a screen pass. You're trying to get the ball to Jerome Bettis, and you never, ever, ever force a screen pass.
That's the key right there. You just don't force it. If it's not there, it's not there.
It's not there. And then you either throw it, you have a tight end on a hook, or you just throw it away. But you never force that in there, and he did.
First and 10 for the Rams. They're down 24-3. Bettis gets a couple over the right side. Now they need the half to be over and go back and regroup. The Rams do.
Yeah, and just know that the thing that got them here, the thing that made them 5-1, is the fact that they were getting turnovers. And today, the thing that's causing that score to be 24-3 is that they're giving turnovers. And those two things will kill you. I mean, you know, you look at Rich Brooks here, he's done a heck of a job. But the two things that are coach killers are penalties and turnovers.
Second and 7, Russell behind Miller. He's going to throw again. Again, he's chased. Incomplete. That one was very nearly intercepted. Jesse Hester was the intended receiver, but that one was almost picked off.
I'll tell you, if they don't start getting Dana Stubberfield blocked, and he's being double-teamed, and he's just breaking double teams, and if they don't get him blocked, it's going to be a longer day for Chris Miller. I mean, here he is. You know that you can't single him because, like I said, he's probably the best defensive tackle in football, but when you double him, you have to keep him out of there.
And he's just splitting the blockers. They double team him, and he goes right between them.
And that's not the first time he split him. He split him on run, and he split him on pass.
And they're running a game. He's running a game with Ricky Jackson, a stunt. That's to Isaac Bruce. And Bruce got some room. He can run. Boy, he's exciting. Dedrick Dodge finally knocked him out of bounds. You better get the ball in that guy's hand.
Watch this play here. He just comes under control here, catches that ball, and then he just knows the move. And poor Merton Hanks comes up to make a tackle. He put a move on him, and he just turned Merton Hanks around. But he caught the ball, he made a move, and he ran by about 4 guys.
34-yard pickup. First down Rams at the 49er 29. Russell and Bennett. Miller to throw it. Going for Bruce. Just overthrew him. He had it done. Hester was the intended receiver that time. Beg your pardon. I thought it was Bruce.
Jesse Hester was out there on that right side. He really did have it, and he just had to get it to him. This would be a big, big lift for these Rams if they could get a score here before they go in at halftime.
Dana Stubblefield getting a rest. Well-deserved.
And the happiest group of that has to be that Ram offensive line that here they are just before half, and they're trying to get a score here, and Dana Stubblefield isn't in the game. They may be fresh, but they ain't no Dana. I'll tell you that.
Oliver Barnett giving Stubblefield a rest timeout. This is the St. Louis Ram timeout as Miller heads for the sideline.
I think that timeout is giving Dana Stubblefield that rest he needed, and he's going back in there to play him some football.
Coming up at the half, the Dockers halftime report. Scores from around the NFL. A Mike Tyson interview. JB and Terry with all the other scores from around the NFL. And we'd like to thank the Blockbuster Video Blimp for providing Fox Sports with these beautiful aerial shots today. A lot of blue sky up there.
That looked like that blimp is having the paint chipping off. Look at this. What the heck's that I'm seeing there? What did we catch, a little airplane fly?
Yeah.
Boy, that's too low. Is that a real plane, you think?
What do you think it is, a toy?
I don't know. A glider or something. Is it landing?
It's a real plane.
That's watch it. No, that's too low.
No, it's dragging something.
I don't want to see what it's dragging. But that's a low-flying plane. That looks like a crop duster.
Here's Miller back to throw if he has time. Fires off balance. Bruce again. To the 10.
This isn't a bad offense here. If Chris Miller can just get the time and find his receiver and find Isaac Bruce, that's not a bad way to go.
We found that airplane.
Look at that. They got that Bruce. There it is.
Rams just outside the 49er 10. 2-minute warning. 24-3, San Francisco leading. We're in the second quarter. Green Bash beginning this Wednesday.
I'll tell you, that coach can drain a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's completely exhausted.
Got a flip card. He's got a headset.
Flip cards right there.
Sunglasses.
Those are names and numbers of all the players.
Yeah.
Talking to Elvis Gerbach, is right next to him. He said he was worried about giving him too much, and just watching him there, he hasn't given him anything.
First down, Rams at the 11-yard line. Leonard Russell. The lone setback. Miller back to throw it. Intended for Hester, incomplete. Covered by Eric Davis.
Eric Davis was right there. That's one of those passes they do like a basketball play. They know he's there, and they just throw it up to him and hope that he can either out-jump him or get a penalty in the end zone. You see, the ball's just thrown there. Eric Davis is there, has good coverage on Hester. There was no place there was no place for Hester to move or to jump or to do anything with.
Second down.
Eric Davis is a scrappy little guy. One of those things, if you're going to be a good corner, you have to have a bad memory and a lot of confidence. Eric Davis has a bad memory and a heck of a lot of confidence.
This is another Ram timeout. They have one left. Miller said I couldn't hear.
Yeah, well, that first play, he couldn't hear the play, and I think he wants to get, the good play because the Rams need a touchdown here. And down 24-3, I think that, that would be a big lift going in at halftime and something to build upon for the second half.
A reminder again to stay with us for the Dockers halftime report, scores from around the NFL, the Mike Tyson interview. You'll be out talking with the combatants in that fight.
Yeah,
I'll be working on the fight itself.
I'm looking forward to that. In fact, I'm going from next week from Atlanta to Las Vegas. Big fight fan. I'm going to be able to talk with Mike Tyson and Buster Mathis and see what the heck's that all about. And then Mike Tyson's going to be on here at halftime.
Right,
too, huh?
right.
I wonder what he thought of those punches that Ken Norton Jr. threw at the goalpost earlier in the game.
He probably didn't have an opinion.
I wonder if he even cared.
Miller swings it outside to Leonard Russell. Russell got away from one tackler, but didn't get any yardage. Did get the clock stopped, however.
Yeah, but I think that this is something that they have to throw the ball in the end zone. I mean, I think that that they do have time because with 1 minute 49 seconds left and one timeout left, their time is okay. But I think they have to get the ball in or towards the end zone. To me, that was a wasted down. First down, they went for the end zone. Second, they tried that thing. Now they're forced to go for the end zone here.
Third down. Here's Miller. Knocked down. Intended again for Jesse Hester. Incomplete. Now do you go field goal or?
Yeah, you have to go field goal. In fact, that wouldn't even been a first down here.
No.
Hester's coming under, and I think when you get down there and it's first down, you have to take 3 shots at the end zone. I learned that years and years ago from George Blanda, and he said, look, the more shots you take at the end zone, the more chance you have to make them touchdown. And that always made sense to me. The Rams had 3 plays there, and they only took 1 shot at the end zone. I think you have the ball down there, you have 3 plays, you take 3 shots at the end zone.
McLaughlin will attempt this field goal. Chris Miller's holding. And that's no good. The line drive, no good to the right from 30 yards. He had hit once.
And Rich Brooks is thinking right there, the thing that they needed life at the end of the half, and they didn't get it. And so instead of going in with some life and being up a little, they're going to go in and they're going to be down. Watch this ball, the way it was kicked, Pat. It looked like he kicked a knuckleball. I mean, isn't that thing supposed to go end over end?
That's what I thought.
I mean, he had good power on it.
Well, that first step.
You see the guy that was most excited about that was that guy Merton Hanks there. I don't know, either because he came flying through the air or he was the first guy to realize that it wasn't any good.
You better stay around for the halftime show. Lavelle.
Merton Hanks has a dance that he learned from his daughter. They were watching Sesame Street.
Was that it?
Yeah, and they saw Bert do a dance, and then Merton Hanks copied that dance. So when he gets an interception, he does that dance that he learned from watching Sesame Street. Bert does it. I think it's a parrot or something. That's not the parrot.
I hope you're not looking for an answer.
No, it's some bird. No, I mean, Bert did it, but it's a bird.
That's Jimmy Jones, the injured Ram. Next week, exciting NFL doubleheader action when the Cowboys take on the Falcons. John and I'll be there. Saints battle the 49ers, plus other exciting regional action. All begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area.
You know, the reason the fans were booing there, the referee in that timeout, he said the Los Angeles Rams. And I mean, that's kind of
easy to do.
Well, yeah, but it's insult to injury. I mean, here the Rams get the ball. They have a couple of big plays. There's Georgia Frontiere, the owner of the Rams, and they're moving down there, and they don't score, and then they miss the field goal, and then the guy calls him L.A.
Floyd. The Rams have one timeout left. None timeouts. No timeout.
Well, that last one,
yeah.
when the referee said timeout Los Angeles Rams, that was their last one.
The St. Louis Rams.
Well, you know, the thing is, you know,
out of timeout.
One of the things about this whole Ram year starting off 5-1, I think a big part of it has been this St. Louis crowd.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
These people are excited, and this is really like having a 12th man, although the 12th man is having trouble against the 49ers this first half.
Floyd again. Good yardage as he rumbles out to the 40. Stopped finally by Roman Pfeiffer.
There's a guy who had a heck of a first half for himself, Dana Stubblefield. Stopping the inside run, rushing the passer, beating double teams, intercepting a pass on a screen pass.
William Floyd limping to the sideline. He hurt his leg, remember, right at the start of the season in preseason. This is a 49er timeout.
Dr. Dillingham there, the 49er doctor that's talking to Floyd.
Coach Steve Young checking with the official.
Well, whatever the 49ers are doing, Steve Young isn't giving Elvis Gerbach the plays anymore because he doesn't have that mic on him, and because there's a timeout, Elvis Gerbach was over there on the sideline talking to the coaches, so they just gave him this play.
Steve's taking notes for his halftime speech.
I wonder what he's going to do with that. I mean, first of all, I wonder what those notes are. And secondly, I wonder what he's going to do with them. One thing that's good to know about Steve Young is he's one of those guys that doesn't comb his hair. And I'll bet you that those marks from the headset will still be like that in the second half. You got to love a guy that doesn't care.
What a guy he is.
And what a first half these 49ers have had. You know, everyone was saying Elvis Gerbach, can he do it? And whereas he had a lot of help from that guy. You know, other people had to lift him. And, you know, the defense had to come up, and the defense for the 49ers came up big in this first half. Ken Norton Jr., he got that interception, scored a touchdown with it, the first touchdown of his career.
Punched out the goalpost.
Dedrick Dodge got an interception.
Stubblefield got an interception.
And I think the the play of Stubblefield, though, in that first half, he really controlled things.
He controlled the rush and the run as far as the Rams are concerned. 24-3, halftime.
Tonight on Space Above and Beyond, Fox brings you the free TV event of the decade. Miller Lite presents Tyson versus Mathis.
My wife Vassar and I were making a commercial for United Way in an agency where children were waiting for adoption. These children were so hungry for love.
We originally wanted to adopt a little boy, but we ran across two little girls and we just fell head over heels in love with them.
I'm Steve Wallace, for the world champion San Francisco 49ers. We knew that we could provide a good home for these beautiful little people. But I didn't fully realize what being a father and having a family were all about until our team returned from a loss. But there at the airport were my daughters, who came running to give me hugs and kisses. I forgot all about losing, and they made me a winner with more love than I ever knew existed. Today our new family has grown because my wife Vassar gave birth to Steve Wallace Jr.,
That love in our new family is the same love you make possible when you support the United Way, because your gifts help so many, and through the United Way, you can help the children who are still waiting.
United Way, reaching those who need help, touching us all.
Welcome to Doctor's Halftime. Coming up on November the 4th here on Fox Sports, we'll be presenting a heavyweight bout between Mike Tyson and Buster Mathis Jr. Now, earlier today, I had a chance to talk with Mike and ask him specifically about concerns he had about Buster Mathis Jr. Buster Mathis brings a nice style into the ring, but is there anything in particular that you're concerned about?
Well, nothing in particular. I'm just interested in getting fights over as quick as possible.
Hey, Mike, we all know that you're an avid boxing historian. What do you do to prevent overconfidence from creeping in, especially given that Buster Douglas did it back in '90? What do you do to guard against overconfidence?
Well, I'm a different individual now than I was when I fought Buster Douglas, and I don't allow my ego, even though sometimes I'm egomaniacal sometimes, I don't allow that to affect me in my personal business. And I just look forward to enhancing my skills and becoming the best fighter I could possibly become. And I'm just looking forward to this fight.
I understand that you are a big football fan. Johnny Unitas, one of your favorites, huh?
Oh, yeah, I like Mr. U. Yes, sir.
We've got an old guy who sits with us, an old quarterback by the name of Terry Bradshaw. Care to elaborate on what kind of quarterback he was?
Now, Bradshaw, they were talking a lot of stuff about you, man. They like, what was your relief quarterback? What was his name again?
Well, Joe Gilliam and Terry Hanratty.
Yeah, everybody liked those guys, too. They gave you a lot of slack back there, man, but I thought you were my man.
Oh, so you do like him. Hey, I understand that the Dallas Cowboys are one of your favorite teams in football. Is that still the case, and why?
No, I like individuals more than the team. I think Detroit really should just give up Barry Sanders. They should just give him up and let him go to a team that could block him, that could give him better blocks where he could break all the records.
Oh, now, wait a minute now, Mike. I understand that Emmitt Smith is one of your favorites, but do you think Barry Sanders is actually a better runner?
Hey, man, I like both of them, but, you know, man, I like Barry. I like Barry as well as Emmitt, yeah. I just think Emmitt has the more prominent team to block him. And I think Barry, there's no way that he's going to get a just dude unless he has a team that could block him with the same kind of success that Emmitt had. And you must understand that he's never going to be, and he's going to always be a great player, but he's never going to reach that, quote, superstardom unless he has the team status.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. And, of course, the date is November the 4th. The site, the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, right here on Fox. The bout between Buster Mathis Jr. and Mike Tyson. And we've got more halftime coming your way right after this.
The 49ers lead the Rams 24-3. They've beaten them 9 straight times, and turnovers have been the story so far. The 49ers got 3 interceptions. 2 led to touchdowns. 1 was a touchdown by Ken Norton.
You know, it was interesting. The things that have made the Rams so successful this year and being 5-1 is that they led the league in that turnover ratio, and now instead of getting them in this first half, they gave them. And that's exactly what the 49ers needed. You know, we talk about Elvis Gerbach starting, Steve Young being out, how they going to do, and someone had to step up. And in this first half, I'll tell you who stepped up was that San Francisco 49er defense.
You know, you always talk about what has the team got to do to get back into the game. What do the 49ers have to do? Do they sit on it?
I don't think so. I think they'll just continue to play, and they have so many playmakers on that offense that I don't think that this offense is capable of sitting on it. And I think the Rams just have to get that first score. I mean, really there at the end of the half, they really fouled up. I mean, they had an opportunity. They only took 1 shot at the end zone, and then they missed a field goal, and then the whole group kind of went in the locker room at halftime on a down note. And I don't know that they're going to be able to dig themselves out of that hole.
It's 24-3. Ken Norton Jr., who had a spectacular first half along with Dana Stubblefield. Steve Young, dark glasses.
Maybe that was one of the things he had on his notes. Remember, just before halftime, we saw him, he had that flip card, and he was taking notes, and maybe one of the notes was to be sure and put your sunglasses on with your headset for the second half.
Put glasses on, take them out of shirt. Laughlin to kick it off. Deep is Jamal Willis. Another kind of short kick. Willis swings around the corner, runs over the kicker. Just ran flat over Steve McLaughlin.
But he's proud of himself.
Yeah.
Look at this. He did it. You know, I think if you look at the first half statistics, here it is right here. The Rams had 3 turnovers, and then that led directly to points off turnovers for the 49ers, 21 points.
Watch this.
This is the way a kicker hits. I mean, he just put his head, his shoulder, he just put his whole load, everything he has. He's like 175 pounds. He put all 175 pounds into that hit.
The moral of that story is next time you better bring a bigger load. Here's Elvis Gerbach. Case gets rid of it, throws it away.
Elvis Gerbach had a lot of help in that first half from his defense, because when you get turnovers, you also give a good field position. And then you see he had no sack. He wasn't hurried once. He was only knocked down 1 time, and he didn't throw in the interception. So that's about as clean a first half as a quarterback can have.
You know, he seemed confident and poised yesterday.
I think a big part of that, although this is his first NFL start in the regular season, he's from a big school. He played at Michigan, and he played in a lot of big games, a lot of big crowds.
Back to throw. Gerbach gets it to Taylor. Stopped by Anthony Parker. Not enough for a first down. About a 5-yard pass, 6 yards maybe, to John Taylor.
You know, when we talked to him yesterday, he was talking about that if he's nervous, it's only going to be the first 3 or 4 plays. And I think he really got helped on those first 3 or 4 plays by, again, that field position. Dedrick Dodge had that interception, gave him good field position. Steve Young, of course, talking to him in his headset, giving him the plays.
3rd and 5. Rice starts to move in motion. And they get the ball to Rice, and he's got a first down and more. Jerry Rice wheels inside Ram territory to about the 42.
Well, you know, it's just a matter of time. Jerry Rice didn't get the ball much in the first half. Just before halftime, they got him the ball down on the goal line. He scored. Now they're trying to get different ways of getting him open. One is you have formation. That time we saw him come in motion. Then he goes behind the line of scrimmage, you know, and then just keeps going on a cross. And anywhere in that crossing pattern, they're going to find him.
He is split wide to the right this time. Here comes the reverse to Taylor, who can also throw the ball. John Taylor fires back across the field to William Floyd, and Floyd gets it down to about the 20.
John Taylor's getting warmed up to be a quarterback. You know, in today's game, he's their 3rd quarterback. In fact, on Wednesday and Thursday, he took some snaps. But watch this play. It's going to start off as a reverse. And you're going to see Taylor come from the left. You see him here? He gets the ball here. Now, if we can stop her right here, here's what he's looking for. He's trying to throw deep, but the Rams had good coverage. So he has to wait and wait and wait, and he sees something back here, and he says, whoa, I'll just throw that thing across the field.
Pretty good touch.
That was not planned. That was not the way that play was drawn up.
Here comes the reverse this time for real to Rice, and Rice is going to score for the 49ers. Jerry Rice. There's not much you can't do.
Okay, this Ram defense is demoralized. That was way too easy. What a call. That was way too easy.
Rich Brooks.
That's what Rich Brooks likes to do, you know, Pat, is, you know, all those trick plays and special plays. Here the 49ers on successive downs, they run a reverse pass with John Taylor, followed by a reverse for a touchdown with Jerry Rice.
Well, you said when I asked you that question at the half, do they sit on this lead? You said this is not the kind of team to sit on a lead.
I think the players are too good.
Yeah.
I think when you give the ball to John Taylor and Rice and those guys, they can't sit on it.
Then Dejas' extra point attempt is blocked.
Whereas all the whistles blow because on the extra point, the ball can't be advanced.
That's the second extra point that the 49ers have botched.
See what happens when someone goes on their back, you're going to get the pressure right up the middle. That was DeMarco Farr. He just ran right over his guy and ran right up the middle. There's nothing that Zendejas could do about that.
30-3. Hit hard by Marquez Pope. Fumbles, and I think the 49ers got it back.
Look at Marquez Pope celebrate. He was a guy that was, played with this Ram team a year ago. Was switched from safety to corner with the 49ers, and they kind of took advantage of him early. He's starting to get more comfortable at that position. But one thing you know about Marquez Pope, whether he can cover deep or cover or not, when they run at him, he's going to be a hitter.
He's going to hit.
And watch number 23 come up here, Jerome Bettis right there. He had that thing. He had Bettis corralled, and that ball was knocked out of there.
Tell me why that's not a fumble.
They had to say that the whistle blew before it was knocked out of there. There's forward motion was stopped. The only thing, that's the only answer, is the whistle blew, and then the fumble came after.
2nd and 11. Miller. Pass is picked off by Norton. And he might go sailing again. Ken Norton's 2nd touchdown of the day.
Now he's going to beat this goalpost up. Left, right, he's doing it to this one. He got the other one earlier. We have a camera on that goalpost. He hit that hard enough to shake it.
He knocked the camera out.
1, 2, 3, out.
There he goes.
The camera's down. Look at that.
Norton has 5 tackles, 2 assists, and 2 interceptions for touchdowns.
And that first one was the first interception for a touchdown in his career.
That one was for 35 yards.
And I think Chris Miller is just having a day here that he's going to want to forget forever. Very aggressive 49er defense, but some poor decisions by Chris Miller.
This is the only part of the 49er package today that's been a little shaky, the extra points. They've blown 2 of those. That one's good. There's a flag on the play.
This is frustration now. Number 75, that's Frank Pollock. He was the guy that was knocked over before on that last extra point that was blocked. I think Rich Brooks is just trying to get Chris Miller's composure back. I mean, that's tough when you get so fired up. You're 5-1, and you're playing in a new town, and everyone loves you.
By the defense, number 75. That foul will be enforced 15 yards in the kickoff. The try was good.
Ed Hockley, DeMarco Farr. He's got a cheering squad.
That's his corner. Again, we watch the interception here. Dana Stubblefield was the guy that got Chris Miller to move out of the pocket. He threw it right to Ken Norton, and you want to see the feeling. Here's what Chris Miller is feeling right now. When you take your head and just ram it into the ground, it's not your day.
Good kick this time. Chases Todd Kinchin back into the end zone. And the Rams will take over at their own 20. See if they still have the same quarterback.
I don't think so. You see Chris Miller there doesn't have his helmet on, and Mark Rippon is going into the game.
Boy, we saw him have some great days, didn't we?
Yeah,
with the Redskins.
With the Washington Redskins that one year, he was throwing touchdowns. He had everything going. Look at Chris Miller's day. Those turnovers just kill you, especially when you're, when you're playing anyone. You're playing a high school team. When you're playing the world champions, the score is going to be 37-3 when you turn it over like that.
Rippon back to throwing. Pass complete to Jesse Hester. Banged out of bounds by Marquez Pope.
He was banged. In fact, we could hear that bang up here. Marquez Pope, remember early in the season when they moved him to corner, the Detroit Lions, and they just kept throwing on him all day, and he's kind of quietly developed a little confidence at corner because he's not a natural corner. I mean, Marquez Pope is a natural safety and should probably be a safety.
George Seifert said it was a coaching mistake.
Well, they wanted to play him off.
Yeah. Here's Rippon. Ball comes loose, but out of bounds from Isaac Bruce.
I'll tell you one thing, just watching this 49er defense, they have been aggressive. I mean, they've been aggressive all day. That front line has been going after the quarterback and knocking him down, batting him around. And then when the receivers catch the ball or get the ball, the defensive backs are hitting. This is a hitting 49er defense today.
Don't you think that sometimes happens when a guy like Steve Young goes down and people start to realize we got to start contributing more?
I think so. I think they were tired about hearing other defenses going to beat them up, and the 49ers aren't physical, and the way to beat them is to be physical and all those things.
Rippon gets it to Bruce. Mark Rippon was 3 for 3 when he came in for this year, when he came into this game. And so far, everyone he's thrown has been caught today.
You know, that's an advantage of having a veteran backup like Mark Rippon, who's been a starter, who has 10 years experience in the league and can come in and play. You know, he's watched the first half, he's seen what the 49ers are doing, and can come in and do something about it.
Into 49er territory. First down, Rams.
Chris Miller, on the other hand, I know he just wants to get this day over with, because, you know, he was so excited the other day about, you know, a chance to, you know, play the 49ers, a chance to beat the 49ers, and he really felt that this was going to be their year and maybe his day, and I guarantee you it didn't turn out the way he had it planned.
2 tight ends, 1 back. Rippon to throw it. He gets pressure and gets away from it. Gets away from it again. And now Mark Rippon's going to take off. He gets about 6 yards right now for a McDonald's game break. Back to Hollywood and James Brown again.
All right, Pat, we're going to take you to Washington. Take a look at Scott Mitchell. Play action, rolling, finds Johnny Morton for the score. Detroit is now on top 20-13, less than 5 to play in the third. Let's take you back to St. Louis. Pat and John.
Here in Busch Stadium, the 49ers leading 37-3 over the Rams. That's Junior Bryant.
Of course, Junior Bryant was taking Bryant Young's place, and Junior Bryant has been playing very well. I mean, Bryant Young and Dana Stubblefield, I thought, were the best combinations of defensive tackles in football. They played great last year. Bryant Young was injured, and it looked like that was going to be a big thing. But this guy here, Junior Bryant, stepped in, and he's filled in and played well.
Done a good job.
It's his first year in the NFL. That means he's a first-year guy, not a rookie. Last year, he was on the 49ers practice squad.
Bryant Young should be due to come back.
That's one of those deals where his own man got him. You see who got him, number 57, Ricky Jackson?
Yep.
Just buried him right in the middle of the back, buried his shoulder right in the middle of his back. Junior Bryant saying, where in the heck did that truck come from?
2nd and 5. Rippon gives to Leonard Russell. Russell faced by Norton, and down he goes. Ken Norton Jr. has had a spectacular day.
He is all over the place. You're right. I mean, he has 2 touchdowns, but he's done all the other stuff. Just watch him here. He's reading, you see, he's back there, and he's reading, and once he sees it, again, he just plays off a block with his left hand like a straight arm and just goes straight down the line. He doesn't go at the running back. He doesn't go at Jerome Bettis. He takes a point where Bettis is going to have to turn up, and he meets him at that point. This is the best game that I've seen Ken Norton Jr. play.
I agree. 3rd and 7. Rippon saying they might be blitzing. Look out. No blitz. Rippon gets it out to Pettis. Gets away from one tackler. Gets back just past the line of scrimmage before he's taken down by Tim McDonald.
That was one of the first tackles that I've seen the 49ers miss. That was Tyrone Drakeford was the first guy up there, and he didn't wrap his arms, but all his other buddies came there quickly.
That's usually a sign that a team is playing aggressive defense. They don't miss many tackles.
Yeah, and you can tell that they've had a meeting. I mean, this 49er defense is playing better and harder and more aggressive than I've seen a 49er defense play in a while, at least this year.
The Rams are going to go on 4th and 7. Ripping the throw. Gets hit. The pass is caught, but it's short. Johnny Bailey made the catch, but not enough for the first. Merton Hanks wrapped him up.
Well, Rich Brooks is just one of those days.
Yep.
Yeah, and it started right off in their first thing when they had the interception. And then it went through the first half. Just before half, they had an opportunity. They couldn't get it in. Missed a field goal. Go for it on 4th down. Complete the pass, and they're short. Nothing's going their way.
6:52 left to play in the third quarter. 37-3 San Francisco. Gibbs to Derek Lavelle, but there's a flag on the play.
Penalty flag down.
Another group that's been playing well for this 49er team today is that offensive line.
Yep.
There was a makeshift line after a makeshift line.
Defense number 51, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Carlos Jenkins.
You know, they came in and, and Kirk Strafford is playing right tackle. Harris Barton was injured before the game. Jesse Cipolla worked all week at center, and then he was moved back to guard. Chris Dahlman is starting there at the right guard. Kid from Salinas, California, Palma High School. I mean, and they've really given Elvis Gerbach good protection. They've blocked well for the run. They've controlled this Ram defense.
Harris Barton got hurt in the pregame warm-up. Gerbach. Brent Jones gets the deflected pass. Todd Light tripped him up.
When things are going good, they're going real good. When they're going bad, they're going real bad.
Budweiser game summary. 4 turnovers by the Rams. Points off turnovers, 28 for the 49ers, none for the Rams. Gerbach, 8 out of 11, 2 touchdowns, 82 yards. And Ken Norton has returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns today. And that ties a 49er team record set by Skip Vanderbunt.
Who was also a linebacker, right?
Right.
What were those, big old Clydesdales?
Yep.
But Kirk Strafford, number 76 there for the 49ers, that's really, I think, the reason for the change in this offensive line, that he played so well. And Bob McKittrick, the offensive line coach, likes him so much that he wanted to get him in there. So he put him in there at guard, and then, of course, Harris Barton got injured before the game, so Strafford had to go to right tackle. There's Bob McKittrick there, the offensive line coach of the 49ers, one of the best. In fact, in college, he coached Rich Brooks at Oregon State.
Gerbach. Flag on the play. It was in the direction of John Taylor. He put a move on the last Ram defender, and they had to grab to keep him from scoring.
Yeah, that was Keith Lyle, the free safety, number 35. He was back there. Lavelle was going to go by him, and Keith Lyle just tackled him. Even the officials have logos on their hats now. Have you noticed that this year?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, everyone got some writing on them now.
Interference by the defense, number 35. Automatic first down.
Keith Lyle, as you said, grabbed John Taylor.
Number 35 is Keith Lyle. You see right there, Taylor was going to get by him. And Lyle, he wasn't even, unobvious about it. I mean, that's about as obvious as you get, because that was out in front of everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's touchdown.
Yeah. And you're out in front of everyone, and you just do it. That's what happens when you get a kicker one week. You got to practice during the game. You can't get enough during the week.
Here's Gerbach. Outside to Floyd. Got a blocker in front. The guy downfield blocking who made that possible was Jerry Rice.
That's what Jerry Rice does. He does it all. And William Floyd does a lot, too. I mean, one thing about, and I've always liked about him, he's only in his second year, but from the first time I saw him, he finishes off runs. I mean, he knows that at the end of the run, there's going to be a big collision anyway. So if there's going to be a big collision, why not let you get the best part of it? There's Jerry Rice's block, and look how William Floyd ends that thing up. If you're going to take it to me, I'll take it to you.
It's almost an insult when you tackle him. Flag on the play.
Yeah, that was Chris Dahlman there, the right guard move. Just talking about what a, you know, this guy's really a nice guy.
Ball start, prior to the snap by the offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Third-year guy, went to Stanford. Like I said, he's from Salinas, California, Palma High School. Very popular in that area. Goes back, does a lot of good. Bright kid, solid player. I mean, he's going to be a starter in this league. He just hasn't had the opportunity yet.
First and 15. Wide open is Derek Lavelle. Inside the 5, about the 4.
Yeah, the 49ers have really gotten this Ram defense. I mean, they've lost everything. I mean, they've lost their hustle. They've lost their spirit. They've lost everything. And they took it out of them. I mean, they blocked it out of them. They ran it out of them. They caught it out of them. They did everything to take the spirit out of this group.
They're getting whipsawed.
They are whipsawed. And there may be some more whipsaw coming.
Second and 3.
The 49ers are at a point that they can do just about anything they want.
Derek Lavelle. This is not what these Rams had in mind.
Well, everything had been going their way. They, you know, I mean, the crowd had been behind them. They, you know, 5-1. It's a, you know, whole new start with a new staff, and they really believe they have a young team, and then they get to play the 49ers here with this crowd, and Steve Young's out of the game, and
last game in this stadium,
and they were really up for that.
Yeah.
But then the 49ers came in here, got the turnovers, and just took complete control of everything, including the crowd.
William Floyd in the end zone. 3 yards for Floyd, touchdown.
Like I said, once you do that, I mean, once your line beats on them all day, then things are going to look easy. This looks easy. Jerry Rice's reverse for a touchdown looked easy. But this is something that's been an accumulation of 3 periods of play. William Floyd didn't know what to do with the ball. What he did, he just kind of threw it over the back line to a group of people back there.
I think he threw it up at our camera.
You think he tried to hit that thing?
I think so.
Well, Ken Norton already knocked it out a lot once.
Zendejas extra point is good. 44-3.
See here, he just takes that ball, watch that block, and there's no one there that touches him until he gets to the end zone.
2:32 left to play in the third quarter.
I just moved in this city, right? And I need a really flexible car. So I lease a Volkswagen Golf. $199 a month. It's great. I sell cappuccino machines. Sometimes I need to move big things. Sometimes I have to move little things, but I always have to move. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and everything fits into it. And it fits into everything. Hey! I have got to cut back on the caffeine.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
It's me! Love Mary! Come to your love around Mary Carterell! Come on down and join the family!
Tired of being interrupted by loud commercials while you're trying to watch television? Get a Magnavox with the exclusive Smart Sound feature.
With Smart Sound, commercials are never louder than the program.
Smart. Very smart.
Så, we should be having big sweet up in the spillerum, for the name's Nick. Oh, this little fella, I won't have to call a creamy, Jan. Tell me about the speakerphone. I can't play CDs. Prince. Unless for that going within the first row of the hole in the wall. He's missing. She must have been behind the door and then. And when the video captured Jim's villa, they'd make it check class. It's an honorary picture. Ask me touching herself there and act the way.
Tonight, is Al Bundy leading a double life?
What are you doing? You take me out at night and sniff other men?
A brand new Married with Children tonight on Fox.
44-3. That McKittrick's group has done an excellent job today, haven't they?
Well, you know, Steve Wallace has done an excellent job. Number 74 there. He drew Sean Gilbert.
Yeah.
He was the best defensive lineman on this Ram team, and you haven't heard a word from Sean Gilbert today.
That's Todd Kinchin. He's been busy today. Oh. Went back after Jamal Fontaine.
This is the frustrating part. And when you're down 44-3, and he didn't like that extra push that he got in there. Todd Kinchin is one of these guys that just runs as far as he can, and then when he's going to get hit, he just throws his body. Watch him here. As far as you can go, then you just throw yourself.
Wendy's presents Hot Player of the Week.
Weird on three. 1, 2, 3.
Last week, the Bears had their hands full with the upstart Jaguars, but it was the hot hands of receiver Curtis Conway that helped save Chicago. 3 of Conway's 4 catches went for touchdowns to help spark the explosive Bears offense.
30 to the 25, 20. It's the footway. 15, 10 yards. Touchdown!
Curtis Conway's 3 clutch scores make him the Hot Player of the Week.
Welcome, Dave. Been a long time.
Sure has, Red.
You got a spicy chicken sandwich. But here, try this.
Not bad.
Water?
No, thanks. Now try a Wendy's spicy chicken.
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is a whole breast fillet seasoned with Dave's own blend of pepper and spices. It's one very delicious, very spicy sandwich.
Please.
Try Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich and long live the king.
From across the seas, Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Okay, now don't get Grandma too excited.
She has been running on the same Duracell battery since the Ice Age.
Wow, those Duracell batteries sure do last. You can't top Copper Top.
Eric and Donnie are fighting the battle of the bulge, and the bulge is winning.
Excellent. 100 and back.
Get into shape with 2-something tonight after The Simpsons.
Back at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the 49ers 44-3 over the St. Louis Rams. This place was jumping when the game started.
Yep, and then the 49ers came in and they quieted the Rams in every area, including the crowd.
He sure did. Mark Rippon. Pitches back to Bettis. There's nothing there.
You know, today, Pat, the Rams did honor one guy who's a real hero. There's a kid who was in the 5th grade, was in a school bus here in St. Louis, and the driver of the bus had a stroke. And that's Larry Champagne there, 5th grader. And he jumped up and took the wheel and slammed on the brakes and saved the whole group of kids. Now, there's a hero. That was the lady that was driving the bus, and that was the bus load of kids. And so he was out here, and he went out, and he was out for the coin flip, and he's been the ball boy. And
said his grandfather taught him where the brake pedal was.
I mean, you think of that, you think of people that, know things and do things, but people, when they do things when they're needed, they're special.
Screen pass completed by Rippon to Russell. Alfred Williams made the stop. Not much doing on the completed screen pass. Not much doing on anything the Rams have tried today.
Well, I was watching Larry Champagne down there a little while ago, Pat, and he was down there kicking. And I was thinking, what the heck? We're always looking for all Madden guys.
Yeah.
And, here's a guy who, saved the bus loads of his fellow 5th graders. And maybe the driver's life and everything, and you're always looking for young players. That's not a bad place to start.
That's the time to start.
That's the time to start. I'll take him. I mean, someone who'll do that, you want him on your team.
Rypien gets rid of it.
He knows what to do. I'm coming.
Well, yeah.
Hey, this has to be all Madden right here.
You know he's cool under pressure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you stick your tongue out and pull your ears out, man, you're on our team. I mean, if he would have just sat there demurely, you don't want him, right?
Well, demure guys don't make the all-Madden team.
Right. They don't even know that word. And if the guy did anything demurely, he wouldn't be Larry Champagne.
To be honest with you, I didn't think you knew that word.
I don't know how that, I don't know where that came from. Woo!
John Taylor steals Landetta's punt.
See, this is what he did before the game. This was a flip of the coin. Look, he points to it. He put that left hand up there, Rams. He wanted the Rams to have the ball.
I hope he grows into that shirt.
Oh, he will. I mean, that's part of the deal. He shakes hands with the referee, runs off the field. You can't beat that. I mean, this is a day that Larry Champagne will never forget.
49ers have a new quarterback, Gary Conklin. Georgia Frontiere. She changed her name since she moved to St. Louis to Frontier.
Frontier?
Yeah. Conklin gives to Ricky Irvin's flag on the play.
I wonder, you wonder what this means when Steve Young is going to be back. It looks like they're taking Elvis Gerbach out and resting him now, getting Conklin a little play. We talked to Steve Young yesterday. He thought that he might be back next week. The doctors have said 4 weeks.
Well, they're talking about whether or not he'd miss that November 12th game.
Number 75 was lined up on the end as the end man on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
You know, the way the 49ers are playing now, next week they have New Orleans. The week after that they have Carolina. So they're probably thinking we can get by those games without Steve Young, and I'm sure that everyone is working to get him back for that Dallas Cowboy game.
And that's November 12th. But if he stayed the full 4 weeks, he'd miss that game, and I don't think there's any way he misses that game.
No, not when something is a bruise and whatever that other muscle sheath thing is, soft tissue.
Soft tissue stretch, yeah. I never heard of that injury.
Soft tissue stretch is kind of like, what was that word I just, demurely. You shouldn't know about soft tissue stretches, nor should you know about demurely.
If you are demure, you might know about soft tissue stretch. Conklin, incomplete. Intended for Ricky Irvin. Roman Pfeiffer with him.
The 49ers also have a new offensive coordinator this year in Mark Trestman. I think a lot of the pressure was on him, too. I mean, when you lose Steve Young and you have a guy starting for the first time and, that you have to make a game plan for him and then call that game plan for him. And I think that Mark Trestman did an excellent job today, too.
Well, you sort of forget about the people that... Ricky Waters, of course, went to Philadelphia. From the 49er offensive unit, they got the new offensive coordinator, Mike Shanahan, left, went to Denver. Ray Rhodes went to Philadelphia. Ted Thompson makes the reception. Toby Wright, the tackle. Short of a first down. There's Mark Trestman in the dark glasses in the middle, in the jacket. And so that's the end of the third quarter. The third quarter with the score of the 49ers 44-3, leading the Rams.
Late Night has a new name for comedy. Mad TV Late Night Saturday.
On Fox NFL Sunday, the #1 pregame team that knows football.
Everybody was expecting the Rams to have a bad record, have a bad team, but Rich Brooks has gone in there and really done a great job.
Kramer can't find it. Another turnover. And Toby Wright is gone.
The NFC West Division leading Rams take on running back Ricky Watters and the Eagles, followed by New Orleans versus San Francisco. Sunday at noon on KTVI Fox 2.
Car with the soul of a BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Ed, I don't know how to tell you this, but you got about a year, 15 months at best. I'm sorry. What are you going to do?
Okay, 3 of these, and those. 2 of these, 3 of those, 4 of those.
Sony introduces 0% financing. Buy now,
and 2 of these.
Pay up to 15 months later.
4 of everything.
Ed, Dr. Warner, you're going to be fine. That spot on the X-ray, part of my sandwich.
Give me 6 more of these, and 3.
Mandy Murphy, weeknights on the 2 News team.
49ers 44. The St. Louis Rams 3. 49ers with their 4-2 record, tied with Atlanta. A game behind the Rams. Tommy Thompson back to punt for San Francisco. Todd Kinchin back deep. Thompson's kick's a good one. Second good one today. Goes right through the hands of Kinchin. Into the end zone goes J.T. Thomas, and now out of the end zone. And flags fly from everywhere. He gets back to about the 5-yard line.
That was Antonio Goss of the 49ers that grabbed J.T. Thomas. You know, the first thing wasn't a fumble by Kinchin. That was a muff.
Right.
Because he never had control of the ball, and the momentum of the ball took it into the end zone.
So he didn't have to bring it out of there.
No, and then J.T. Thomas gets that ball, and I don't know, you know, when you're down like this, you're just trying to make anything happen. Antonio Goss got him by the face mask.
Yep.
And then just bent him over backwards. That's the second time that J.T. Thomas has been stretched out today.
The other was in a collision with his own teammate.
Personal foul, face mask by the kicking team, number 98. 15-yard penalty, first down.
There's Antonio Goss there. You see, you have the 5-yard penalty, you know, where you just grab the face mask and let go. Then you have the 15-yard variety. Now, this is 15 yards.
Where you don't let go.
No, I mean, he grabs it and then uses it to bring him down and back.
And he's still down.
And that could even be more than a 15-yard penalty.
He said he wants more control. Oh, boy. Told me he's looking for faster response and more security.
Then he's leaving the firm?
No. He's getting a Cadillac DeVille.
Now DeVille is better than ever because now it has the North Star system and its extraordinary combination of comfort, safety, security, and performance. Nothing else feels like DeVille from Cadillac.
I suppose it want a better parking space, too.
Had a dream the other day. Canines were running the show. It was sucker.
Bring me the cat.
But if you want to be treated with respect, you gotta treat others with respect.
Roll over.
Whether they get around on 4 legs or 2. Of course, just between us mutts, it was kind of gratifying.
Gold gets me feed to see the whole world.
my agent. You have to do something about this. My face is on the cup with the duck. Well, I'm allergic to ducks.
Now at McDonald's, get a free Looney Place to Go cup when you supersize any extra value meal for just 39 cents more.
How'd I get on a McDonald's cup with Marino? I'm agent. I'm allergic to dolphins.
How much closer are our precision heads? Our innovative lift and cut system? How much better is the latest Norelco? In a word, we've never brought you closer. The Norelco Razor, our closest shave ever.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. By Black & Decker, it's how things get done. By McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League. And by Hager, 100% cotton, wrinkle-free pants and shirts.
Famous arch in St. Louis, just by the Mississippi River, close to Busch Stadium. 44-3.
You know, that Mississippi River's all over the United States. And I crossed it like in 15 states, I think.
Pass incomplete.
There's Larry Champagne, our hero, our fifth grader, and that'll be a big day for you today, huh, Larry?
Yeah.
What's it like being down there in the field?
I don't know.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Huh? You get any hits or anything down there?
No.
No kicks?
No.
You play football?
Yes.
What position you play?
Defensive end.
You play any offense?
I play guard.
Okay, guard and defensive end. I'm going to put you in the All-Madden team right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And we'll send you everything. You'll get hats and jackets and sweatshirts and everything.
Okay.
You'll be the first guy of the year.
All right.
On the All-Madden team. That's great.
You're talking. You don't have any good plays, huh?
No.
Give the Rams, just something. Just tell them, run a flea flicker. Just go up there and just tell someone when you're done here, just go up and say, hey, run a flea flicker.
By the offense, number 61. The penalty is declined. Brings up third down.
This is holding by Bernd Brostek. Declined. Thank you very much, Larry.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Larry, and congratulations. You're a real hero. You're a real man.
Thank you.
Isn't that something?
Think about what he did. That is a real hero.
A fifth grader?
Yeah. Having that kind of presence.
Mind to jump up there?
Yeah. 3 wide receivers. Ricky Jackson jumped into the backfield.
Ricky Jackson trying to get a jump on something. Isn't he something, they're still playing, 15-year veteran? Really a linebacker. They didn't have enough guys there, so they played him as a defensive lineman. Rams sideline, they're still working on J.T. Thomas.
Number 84, the 5-yard penalty remains third down.
Still third down. Troy Drayton.
So it wasn't Ricky Jackson.
No.
When you're a 15-year veteran, you don't jump off sides like that. He had to see something.
That's Tim Harris. Just activated this week.
Hey, he's coming off a 6-week suspension. And they expect him to help him on that pass rush.
Griffin almost has his pass intercepted. Again, let's send you to Hollywood for a McDonald's game break and James Brown.
It's had Carolina en route to its second victory of the season. Kerry Collins play action finds Howard Griffith. Howard Griffith's second touchdown of the day. It's 20-3, Carolina under 11 in the fourth. Back to Pat and John.
Well, I remember thinking in the beginning, John, that this year's expansion teams, Jacksonville and Carolina, would win some games. Better than expansion teams in the past have been.
Yeah, well, they had more opportunity, I think, with the number of players available and free agency and everything. Salary cap.
Taylor gets it out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. 2 years ago, not that he isn't good now, but there was no one better at returning punts in the NFL than John Taylor. 44-3. The 49ers leading the St. Louis Rams.
Should a man be judged by what he wears? Are you really any less of a man because you don't wear the right shirt or pants? Should you have to wear a shirt or pants at all? Ask yourself, hasn't our society advanced to the point where a man can feel comfortable in a dress? Probably not. Always appropriate 100% cotton pants that are soft and wrinkle-free. Hager, stuff you can wear.
Making ideas a reality. It's how you ended up with your own business in the first place. And it's why Hewlett-Packard has introduced the fast, reliable, affordable HP LaserJet 5L and the colorful HP DeskJet 850 series with a real-life imaging system. Dependable, professional Hewlett-Packard printers. Printers that work almost as hard as you do. HP printers. Just what you had in mind.
I'm just not comfortable anymore.
Really?
I'd like something more contemporary, with more of the luxury, security, and room we've worked so hard for.
So you want a new house?
No, a Cadillac DeVille.
Now DeVille is better than ever, because now it has the North Star system and its extraordinary combination of comfort, safety, security, and performance. Nothing else feels like DeVille from Cadillac.
But it would look great in a new driveway.
A top-secret assignment. Move out! Becomes a suicide mission.
They're corralling us to the black hole. You go in, you can't get out.
A brand new Space Above and Beyond tonight.
From overhead, Busch Stadium and the Arch and the Mississippi, the Blockbuster Video Blimp, which is touring the United States in celebration of Blockbuster Video's 10th anniversary. Jamal Willis gets the carry. The attendance today, by the way, 59,915, a Busch Stadium record. But not much to celebrate today, as the Rams have been overwhelmed by the 49ers.
Well, the fans thought, let's make this last one a good one, and they were here ready. I mean, I'll say that. The fans were ready. They were cheering in the pregame introductions, and this place was rocking. And they started off with the interceptions and the turnovers and went downhill thereafter.
The rock and stop. Ricky Irvin's the ball carrier.
Yeah, this was the offensive line today that they finally ended up with. Steve Wallace at left tackle. Jesse Sapullo was going to start at center, moved over to left guard. Bart Oates went back in at center. Chris Dahlman just started at the right guard. Kirk Strafford worked all week at left guard and then started at right tackle for Harris Barton, who was injured in the pregame warm-up. But look at the job they did. No sacks allowed. Good running day. Good passing day. They really helped their young quarterback, Elvis Grbac.
They really did. Conklin throws incomplete for J.J. Stokes. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Rams and the National Football League is prohibited.
You know, is that just an illusion, or was that airplane flying by about halfway up that arch?
I think it was an illusion. It was not an illusion.
Well, that's either a big arch or a low-flying airplane. I think it's a big arch, but I think it's still a low-flying airplane. I'm going to check with the FAA on that one.
You're going to have to introduce yourself, because they won't know who you are.
I know, but I'm going to call the FAA and say, hey, shouldn't an airplane be flying higher than the arch? Because if an airplane's only halfway up the arch, that's a low-flying craft.
It might hit a bus.
Uh-oh.
44-3. The score in the fourth quarter.
Harmon, you're putting way too much pressure on me. And Bill Walsh, you know, who's a jokester, got up and said, well, George, let me give you some plays. I got some things I want you to do here.
I do have a few ideas.
You do have a few ideas. Of course, they were just kidding. I mean, George knew that Bill was going to come on the flight and come with the team, and Bill was just kidding him. But Carmen Policy.
Bill Walsh looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does look good. You know, not coaching will do that to you. You know, that if you coach and you have all the stress of that, and then you get away from it, and then you kind of look relaxed, and everyone says, hey, you look good. Well, you should look good. You're not doing anything. But then when you go back to, like, George Seifert, I mean, he's going through it. Look at Rick Brooks now.
That's Moss again. Tripped up by Oliver Barnett.
And George is feeling pretty good now, though.
Yeah.
He got his daughter married in the off week.
Said the wedding went very well, he said, with his wife's planning and his money.
He's starting to take...
Whoa!
I thought it was going well, and now he's medicating himself.
Maybe not.
Well, that was for the headache he had before the game when he didn't know what was going to happen today, and he was starting to quarterback for his first time.
Moss again.
Because, you know, when the 49ers lose Steve Young, they're not just losing a player. I mean, they're losing their leader, their quarterback, the MVP in the league last year. They're losing, you know, their best passer. They're losing their best runner. I mean, that's one thing that Steve Young is so tough with, that he's also the best running back in that team.
Look less like a coach and more like a handyman now. Wide belt.
What is that thing, that belt he has around his waist? What the heck would that be? What would
He's got a hammer on the other side. Ricky Jackson stopped Johnny Bailey.
You know, if you ever put a list of tough guys, you know, just tough guys that have played this game, Ricky Jackson would be on that list. You know, like if you had 10 guys, like the 10 toughest guys that ever played in the National Football League,
he'd be on the list.
I would put him on that list. I remember him for the New Orleans Saints, and I mean, he would just take on anything. And you talk to any player that ever played with him or against him, and you say, who's the toughest guy you ever seen? Ricky Jackson's name will always come out.
Did he play for 1 year, almost a half season with a broken jaw?
No, there's the whole side of his face.
Yeah. Landetta to Chris Thomas, who's back to field this punt. Juggled it, but now he's got it. Now he's got some room. Outside the 40, the 49ers will take over there. 44-3 the score, 9:15 left to play. (44-3) at Busch Stadium. Al Bundy. Has he been leading a double life? Find out on a brand new episode of Married with Children. Tonight at 8 Central on Fox. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Busch Stadium, St. Louis. The 49ers have been in control of this one from the very beginning. Chris Thomas in motion. 9-17. Conklin back to throw. To J.J. Stokes.
You know, right here is Russ Porter, and that's goes all the way back to grammar school and high school with Rich Brooks, and he was his best friend, grew up together, and he's an attorney now in Sacramento. And he travels to all the Rams games and stands right next to Rich Brooks holding his cord. In fact, I went to practice on Friday. He was out there Friday, so he's spending a lot more time carrying cord than he is practicing law.
Sounds like
good.
Conklin incomplete.
The umpire got his hat knocked off.
I think J.J. Stokes ran into it.
Yeah, I'm glad it's a hat. I mean, you see something like that come off the shoulders, and you're always glad it's just a hat. Watch him. You see, he's coming in here. J.J. Stokes is going to come across, and you don't know something's going to get knocked off or out of him. He got knocked pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the old deal about, you know, remember those old Western movies? The guys would fight and fight and fight and fight, and their hats would never come off. Then the guy gets one bump, poof, right goes his hat.
I did a heavyweight fight one time where one of the contestants wore a wig and it never came off.
Well, you were going to say wore a hat like Tex Cobb or something.
Ricky Irvin.
There was a heavyweight champion that fought with a wig on?
No, I didn't say he was a champion. He was a fighter. He was a heavyweight.
He was the opponent?
He fought Ken Norton Jr. Ken Norton Sr., I'm sorry.
He was a tomato can?
He was with a wig.
If he wore a wig, he was a tomato can.
He also sang the national anthem before the fight.
I don't want to hear who he was.
Okay.
A guy sang the national anthem, wore a wig, and fought for the heavyweight championship of the world?
No. He didn't fight for the heavyweight championship. He fought to be champion.
Well, what'd they fight for?
Money, I guess.
The guy sang the national anthem and then fought later?
And then fought, yeah.
No, you can't do that. You got to get wet. You got to be sweating in the locker room, and you got to be, boom, left, right, hands up and stuff. Then you can't go sing the national anthem.
He was doing that while he was singing.
No, the lactic acid would build up.
I'm telling you the truth.
No, I don't believe. Guy sang the national anthem, wore a wig, and fought Ken Norton.
That's correct.
And he was the champion.
That's correct.
Woo! Yikes.
2nd and 9. Conklin going deep for Stokes. Surrounded by Rams.
And
you don't believe that story, huh?
and then Ken Norton couldn't knock the wig off?
No, knocked him out, but didn't knock the wig off.
But I mean, Ken Norton Jr., boom, he hit the thing and our camera went flying once.
Right.
You mean that his dad couldn't hit a guy who sang the national anthem?
I'm sorry, but
wore a wig, and when he hit him, the wig didn't pop off?
It didn't come off.
But he did knock him out?
Yeah, he did. Well, he didn't come out after a round. He couldn't answer the bell.
Oh, he quit in his corner.
Yeah, well.
He was a tomato can. Don't tell me who that guy was. There's going to be someone out there looking for me.
I don't think so.
That's unbelievable.
Well, I'm not sure I'd believe it if I hadn't seen it. If I hadn't done it.
5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
That was early in my career.
And now you're going to call the Mike Tyson Buster Mathis Jr. fight.
That is correct.
Las Vegas, yeah. Mike Tyson, I saw him at halftime. He was wearing a suit. He was all cleaned up and stuff, but he looked ready.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He wants him to trade Barry Sanders.
Steve Wallace, we talked about the job that he did today on Sean Gilbert. Sean Gilbert was kind of quiet on that Ram defense. In fact, that whole defensive line was kind of quiet.
Here's Conklin chased from behind by DeMarco Farr and taken down.
DeMarco Farr is not even going to make one of his moves. You know, when you're behind 44-3 and you get a sack, you just walk off the field.
Remember his uncle?
Yeah, Mel Farr. Here's DeMarco Farr right here. See, he's running that stunt. He goes to the outside. He has Conklin in there. He just tackles him and gets up like a gentleman. You know what he wants to be when he's finished football, though? He wants to be a pro wrestler. In fact, he told me the other day he wants me to get him a match with Lawrence Taylor. And I said, no, you ought to tag team, combine with Lawrence Taylor, then turn against him and do that whole thing.
Todd Kinchin gets the bounce. The ball comes loose, but he was down. Here's Jimmy Jones.
Yeah, remember when he played for the Dallas Cowboys and then he came here? Look what he brought here to St. Louis with him. This is his ride. And he got everything in there. I mean, he got tapes and music and speakers and television sets and telephones. He got more in that truck than I have in my bus. And he even have a game. Oh, shoot. Hey, there's Ugly. I was wondering where Ugly went with Jimmy Jones' truck.
And DeMarco Farr.
DeMarco Farr says he's the best video game player in the Rams team.
He played your game.
Yeah, but they just play right there in the parking lot, right in Jimmy Jones' truck. He just brings everything with him. I remember when Jimmy Jones played for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were on a road trip, and he got Jerry Jones's room, and Jerry Jones got Jimmy Jones's room, and Jimmy Jones got this big suite up there, and and he had all the food and the fruit and the thing and all the fancy
stuff. When they had all the JJs.
Yeah,
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, Jimmy Jones.
Yeah, so Jimmy Jones had Jerry Jones's room, so Jimmy Jones was acting like the owner of the Cowboys for a while.
That's why he's with the Rams. Marv Cook with the reception. So the standings after today, assuming, and I think we can do that San Francisco wins this one. The 49ers will be 5-2. Atlanta will be 5-2, and we'll be in Atlanta next week when they face the Dallas Cowboys, who are coming off a bye week. The Rams are still being 5-2.
And then the 49ers, again, they don't have their quarterback, Steve Young, but you see their next two games are against those bottom two teams.
Right. Leonard Russell, the ball carrier. Darren Smith will be back next week also. Here he is working out this week for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think right now the best team is the Dallas Cowboys. And as you say, they get Darren Smith back. They're going to get Deion Sanders this next week. They're just going to get better. But that's right now. I mean, what happens in October it's not even Halloween yet.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to get hurt, of course.
No, and when you really, what's important is who's the best in January.
Down the stretch. Here's Mark Rippon firing complete to Jesse Hester. Upcoming for the 49ers, as you pointed out, New Orleans, Carolina, then Dallas, then Miami, then the Rams again.
Yeah, this is the one. I think this is the one Steve Young comes back. I mean, I don't know that they need him here. I don't know that they need him here. I do know that they need him there. I think he knows, too.
Rams ball up there at the 49er 42.
You know that his first name is John? His first name isn't Steve. It's John Stephen Young.
Leonard Russell, a carrier. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Is that a Ram?
There's an old coach. It's an old coach.
Now there's a real Ram.
Now you're talking.
2nd and 6. Rippon. Pass is batted down, intended for Pat Carter.
Getting back to Larry Champagne, though, I think it was good that he's a guard and a defensive end. I mean, I think if Larry Champagne were like a quarterback or wide receiver, he wouldn't be. But I think, when you want to build your team, you want solidity, you want a foundation, a base, you build it with guards and defensive ends.
I think you're right.
He said, well, I'm a quarterback, or say, I'm a guard and defensive end. That's good.
3rd and 6. Mark Rippon. Intended for Jim Price. The Rams' upcoming schedule, they have the Eagles, then the Saints, then Carolina, Atlanta, and then again the 49ers at San Francisco.
And at 5-2, if they're legitimate, they should be able to, play with Philadelphia, and then after that they have a couple that they ought to handle, and then it gets tough for them again.
With the 49ers again and Atlanta. People are inclined to forget about Atlanta. Except Atlanta. This is Jesse Hester. Touchdown from Rippon. From 38 yards away. Those who are left at Busch Stadium make some noise.
And I'll tell you, Eric Davis was on the sideline, and he just threw his helmet halfway out on the field. Saw that slant there, two guys there. No one tackles Jesse Hester, and he scores. They wanted to shut the Rams out today. They wanted to shut out. They didn't want to allow him to have a touchdown. And Eric Davis was out there on the sideline. He wasn't in the game. He just threw his helmet halfway onto the field.
McLaughlin for the extra point. Looks good. Jesse Hester has 3 catches today for 59 yards. And that touchdown pass from Mark Rippon. 44-10 with 2:29 left to play.
It's a blast from the past. All your favorite arcade games like Asteroid, Centipede, Defender, and Galaga. So polish up your old moves. You'll need us to survive the arcade classics. Now available in 2-in-1 game packs for Game Boy and Super Game Boy, baby.
Back at Busch Stadium, Pat Summerall with John Madden was thinking about the most valuable player, and I was thinking of you. But we'll give it to Ken Norton Jr.
Yeah, I think he played the best game that I've ever seen Ken Norton play. And I mean, he did everything. He was up there stopping the run. He had those 2 interceptions for touchdowns.
Tied the San Francisco team record, all-time record.
He hit the goalpost so hard once, he knocked our camera out of lock.
And the other goalpost he beat up, they had to replace the duct tape.
So that's a game. I mean, when you do stuff like that, you come to commit mayhem.
Kickoff return by Chris Dahlman. I think that's the second one he's returned today.
Oh, yeah, he can do a lot of things.
That's an all-time record.
You get those offensive linemen out of Stanford, and anything you want them to do. I mean, he's saying, hey, whatever you want. You want me to catch the ball, run with it, block, anything, I can do it. Like I said, he's going to be a guy, you know, he hasn't had a lot of opportunity to be a starter yet, but he's going to be a guy that once he becomes a starter, he'll stay in there for 10 years.
Yep. It'll be sort of like number 61.
Yeah, how about Jesse Sapulpa? I mean, all week he practiced. They moved him to center. He practices there at center. Then he has to play guard. I mean, he can do anything, this guy.
He really can. Knows the offense better than anybody else, according to George Seifert. Jamal Willis.
And you know, there's only 2 guys that have 4 Super Bowl rings that are active now and have a chance to be the first guy to ever win 5 Super Bowl rings. Jesse Sapulpa is one of them.
Right. And the other is, the score is 44-10. The 49ers over the Rams.
You can't save everything you'd like to.
You can't save the world. You can't save the old neighborhood. But you can save this table where your parents and their parents broke bread, dealt pinochle, and talked about maybe someday fixing the table. The Workmate portable workbench with vertical clamping from Black & Decker. It's how things get done.
Any insurance agent knows lightning can strike any day. Fortunately, your Allstate agent knows it can strike any night, too. So if it does, you can call your agent anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A claims specialist is standing by to help you right away. If your insurance can't deliver claim service day or night, in a flash, maybe you should switch. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Bucky and Vinny here, reviewing Subway Steak and Cheese Sandwiches, the home of the Steak and Cheese Philadelphia. Steak and cheese, please. Well, what do we think? This is the real McCoy. Tender, juicy steak with loads of real melted cheese. We have a winner. Subway, what a sandwich.
William Baldwin. Cindy Crawford.
That was a good right, Dave.
Fair game.
The last football game to be played here at Busch Stadium. The 49ers over the Rams. They've beaten them 9 straight times before today. This will make 10. Maybe it's a good way to say goodbye to Busch Stadium.
I think after this game, the Rams are going to be happy to get out of here and not remember this game. Ooh, this is a whipping that put on them.
2nd and 9. Jamal Willis again. His last touchdown, the extra point by the Rams.
Well, it's just the kid gets it, and the kid has it there. See him? And then someone's going to strip it from him. And they strip it from him and go to take it away. See? Look at the guy. Stripped it from the kid. You can't do that. So then he gets stripped, and then they give it back to the kid. Now, that's right. But how could the guy strip it from a kid like that?
Well, you saw the woman said give it back to the kid.
Yeah. She had her wits about her.
Yeah. Ricky Irvin. The drive for 5. Here are the players that John was talking about a minute ago. 28 players have won 4 Super Bowls. 3 are still playing. Those 3. Ronnie Lott, of course, on the inactive reserve, injured reserve list. So Jesse Sapolo.
Yeah, there's probably 2 guys that have a chance. Jesse Sapolo and again with the 49ers, or Charles Haley with the Dallas Cowboys. And if you had to pick and say that, you know, it could happen this year, I would expect that it would happen, because if you had to say who are the favorites, it either has, if you pick the 49ers, then Dallas would be second. If you don't pick the 49ers, I think you'd have to pick the Cowboys. But like Jesse said, it would be a real honor for him, because it's a goal you can have as an individual but still be a team goal. And here he was the last draft choice. He was the 11th draft choice from Hawaii of the 49ers. They didn't have a 12th that year. Here's a guy who's the last player they chose in a draft from a small school, Hawaii. Comes to the 49ers and plays all these years and is the first guy in the history of the game to win 5 Super Bowls. Now that would be something.
Thompson upon it. Jesse, of course, said that's Johnny Bailey returning, said he was always, being the 11th round draft choice, worried about being cut. His roommate was Roger Craig, and he knew when he heard the knock on the door they were not knocking for Roger.
Yeah, that happens when you room with the first round draft choice.
Yeah.
You look around and you say, if someone in this room is going to get cut, I know who it's not going to be.
Not going to be Roger. But the knock on the door never came for either one of them.
Oh, and he's one of those guys that just lines up wherever you need him. You need a guard, he'll be in the Pro Bowl for you as a guard. You need a center, he'll be a Pro Bowl center.
And you need somebody to say hello with a smile, he can do that.
And if they're going tough and the 49ers lose, you need someone to talk to, Jesse Sapolo will always stand up and talk.
Yep.
If you ever want to look and find out really who the real good guys are on a team, watch after a loss and see who's the guys that are quoted the next day. They're the guys that the press always know that no matter win or lose, you can always go talk to that guy. And that's what Jesse Sapolo is.
Well, Steve Young's like that, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of them like that, and there's a number of players like that on every team.
Ripping. Still ripping. To Bruce. Isaac Bruce. Bruce has over 100 yards in receptions again today.
Well, you can see Steve Young is still talking to Elvis Grbac. They were worried. They didn't know how much they were going to talk during the game because, like Steve Young says, he doesn't like a lot of people talking to him during the game, and he probably thought Elvis didn't either. He said, we'll have to find out during the game And it looked like whatever the plan was between Mark Trestman in the booth, Steve Young in the sideline, George Seifert, Elvis Gerbach, whatever that situation was, it really seemed to work today.
Steve Young just got rid of his gum and put it under the bench. That's the kind of guy he is, so nobody will step on it.
Did he put it neatly under the bench?
Yes. The roses.
That's baseball, I think. You know, the outfield fence and the flowers, and baseball is much more decorative than football.
Bunting?
Yeah, I mean, they have bunting. We don't have bunting. They have flowers. We don't have flowers in yards, and we should have them.
Ripping for Bruce. Incomplete. Tyrone Draper, the 49er cover man. Bruce had a good day. He catches 160 yards. Run after the catch. 78 yards.
And he's only in his second year, and you know he's one of the bright spots on this Ram team, and I mean this is just one bad day for him. I think that up till this point they've been a breath of fresh air for the league, and I don't think they're done.
Rippin. Flag on the play.
There's even a balloon on the play.
Jim Price was the intended receiver. The injured Ram, Goes.
Injured Ram player.
Yeah, Leo Goes is the left guard. He had a tough go today with Dana Stubblefield in that first half. Vern Brostek, the center, and Leo Goes and Wayne Gandy over there trying to get Stubblefield blocked. Really didn't have a lot of success.
Yeah, he was a load. He is every week, though.
Two men moving at the same time. The penalty is declined. Brings up third down. There's also a charged team timeout to St. Louis as a result of the injured player in the last 2 minutes. That's their third and final timeout.
That's all the timeouts for the Rams. Again, next week, John and I'll be at Georgia Dome for Dallas at Atlanta. And Atlanta always seems to give the Cowboys a rough go. Those are the early games. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. New Orleans at San Francisco, Green Bay, Detroit, Tampa Bay, Houston.
Well, you know what Atlanta does? They use that run and shoot. They have the 4 wide receivers, and you have to play a different defense against them. So it's not something that you're used to playing against, and you're not playing a defense that you're used to playing. Well, I think it'll be a good week for the Cowboys to get Deion Sanders there, because you don't need a lot of linebackers, but you do need a lot of defensive backs.
I was going to say Darren Smith, who is unusually fast for a linebacker, may not see a lot of action against that Atlanta offense, but Deion will. Bruce out of his reach. Tyrone Draper to get on the coverage.
Yeah, sometimes when you play Atlanta, like when the Rams played Atlanta last week, their last game, their middle linebacker, Shane Conlon, they didn't even have him active.
Right.
He didn't even suit up. And so you play the Atlanta Falcon offense, that does take middle linebackers out of the game. Elvis Gerbach, he was calm all day.
Yeah, he was.
He was calm yesterday. Yeah, he never looked like he had those jitters that you would expect. I mean, from the first play, although the first play he had good field position on because that was after a turnover.
First throw was a touchdown. That helped your confidence, too. Bruce. Don't forget to stay with us after this is over for the post-game show. Scores and highlights from around the league. Mark Rippon. So many good years. There was a year in Washington when nobody threw the ball long, particularly better than he did.
Well, and he had those receivers. Remember, Gary Clark, always one of our favorites. Art Monk, Donnie Warren in there as a blocker.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a lot of weapons. Did the Hogs, the offensive line.
Ricky Sanders. Jim Price from Ripken down inside the 10.
Hey, if Eric Davis doesn't watch out, he's going to have to throw his helmet again.
Let's see if the game's over. Flag on the play.
Now, the game can't end on a defensive penalty. This one's over.
That one is over. So for John Madden, I'm Pat Summerall saying so long from Busch Stadium, where the final score was San Francisco 44, St. Louis Rams 10. Be sure to stay tuned for the NASDAQ postgame report. James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Jimmy Johnson will be along from our Hollywood studio with scores and highlights after these messages.